Hi, I'm just going to take you through a few of the tools that you'll be using on our Frog VLE, just to give you an idea of the type of thing to expect. So when you first log on to Frog, you'll see this page here. And the first thing I'm going to introduce you to is notices. So over on the right-hand side here, you will see notices just for your year group. And your teachers will be able to put things on here which are important to you. So your teacher will read these out, your learning guide will read these out every morning to you, but you might want to go back to them to check through them to make sure that there's nothing that relates to you. And sometimes your teachers will put links in the notices that you can click on to get to different places if there's an event taking place or a competition or something like that. So make sure you check those regularly. What you'll also notice on Frog is you have your timetable for the day in this area here. Mine is blank because today is a teacher day, so there's nothing there, but normally you will see a link to all of your lessons. You can see what lessons you've got in each period, which teacher you're with, and which room you were in. So that'll just help you to stay organised. Now, a little bonus of that is if you click on your class code there, it will take you to what's called our class blog. So every class has its own blog where you can share information with each other. Your teacher might put resources there for you, or they might ask you to share some work that you've done so that you can get feedback and other students in your class can look at each other's work. So that blog is something that you'll end up using quite regularly. You have a button down here called All Subjects. This is a way that you get to the home page for each subject. So if I go into here, and for example, let's just click on Create. This is the Create department's homepage. So you can follow the links to Year 7, for example, and then you can see all of the different units and all of the different lessons and the different resources that you're going to be using. Now, sometimes your teachers will direct you to use some of these resources. Other times you might just want to have a look through them to look ahead to see what's coming up in your lessons and the types of things you'll be doing. Perhaps if you miss a lesson, you might want to go back and have a little look at some of the things that were covered in that lesson. So that's where you go to get to subject homepages. If you look at this middle area that my cursor is going around at the moment, you will see a lot of apps. Yours will be slightly different to mine because I'm on a teacher login, so I see some different things to you. But you will have this button here called Home Learning. That is where you see all of the home learning that your teachers have set, and they'll give you instructions about your home learning in there. They'll also probably tell you in the lesson what you have to do to make sure that you're aware of it, but you can go back to it on here, and this is where you go to find out what it is that you're meant to be doing. You will be able to see what rewards you've picked up in different lessons, so you can click on that to see how many stamps you've been given. And you've also got something called Learning Toolkits. So these are resources we've made to help you with things like your reading, your writing, your numeracy, and also working in teams and thinking and things like that. So if you clicked on any of these, I'm not going to go through them all in this video. You can click on them to find out a little bit more. So if I just went to the literacy toolkit as an example, and I wanted some help with writing, I can get some help by clicking on these links, or I can click on the tools button at the bottom, and I've got lots of different tools that I can use to help me. Now, probably to start off in lessons, your teachers will give you some help and advice about using those tools, and they'll introduce you to some of them. But once you've been introduced to them, and once you get used to this, you can start using these tools anytime you want to help you with your work if you think that that's something that will be useful to you. I'm not going to go over in this video the Google tools. When we hand out the Chromebooks, we'll give you a little bit more advice on things like Google Drive and the different apps in there. We'll give you advice on Gmail and on how to use your calendar as a planner and Google Classroom to hand in any work that you do on Google. So you'll get a lot more information on that when we hand the Chromebooks out. My final message to you is enjoy the ICT that we've got in this school. It is fantastic. You get some great opportunities and some great tools to use. Also make sure that you use it respectfully and responsibly. So always treat other people kindly, whatever you're doing online. Make sure that you treat our equipment kindly and your own equipment when you get your Chromebooks. And make sure that everything that you're doing online, whether it's in emails or blogs or whatever is appropriate, because we do check the stuff that you do online and on the computers in school. Thank you very much for listening.